$13 billion, $53 million actually spent, actually producing jobs, and all you've got is signs. The politicians are dithering here.
Well, thanks for having me on your show again, Stuart, and a greeting to all the servicemen and women on active duty on Memorial Day. I think the real issue that we're experiencing here is Republicans see these signs. They know that people are going to see that there's actual infrastructure happening as a result of the stimulus in their communities, and they're afraid because after that, the stimulus money won't be so easy to attack.
Oh, come on, Steve. You can't get away with that. You can't blame this on the Republicans or impute some kind of response from the Republicans. Fact is, you're dithering. The politicians are dithering. These were not shovel-ready projects. We're not putting people to work like we were supposed to, and we've only laid out $13 billion out of $787 billion. This is political dithering, Steve, and I think you know it.
No, actually, you know, there's a lot of work already happening as a result of the stimulus. A lot more is occurring. It's getting the economy moving again. We can see it in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We can see it in the leveling off of the unemployment rate. I think the stimulus is a success, and I think you Republicans hate that. I think you guys are desperate to try to do something.
I'm not a Republican. I'm just challenging you. When I see $13 billion laid out, $53 million spent, and essentially public relations signs going up touting job creation,
well,
has not happened.
Stuart, you're acting as if Obama invented this. Listen, you know,
I'm
40 years old.
Steve, that
in the 40 years of my life, I've seen a lot of these signs as I've driven through New York, Colorado, Texas. Your tax dollars at work.
The stimulus plan is your plan. It is the Democrats' plan. It was authored by President Obama, signed by President Obama, and it is not being implemented. You can't blame the Republicans. You can't blame President Bush. This is your stimulus plan, and it is not yet creating jobs. All it's creating is PR signs. That's it.
Well, you know, I respectfully disagree with you there, Stuart. It's creating a lot of jobs throughout the country. All the statistics show that. But I do want to tell you something. The biggest misuse of the fund so far is happening in Texas with Republican Governor Rick Perry, who's spending $11 million of the stimulus money to repair the governor's mansion out there. And the interesting thing is, first, he didn't want to take it. You know, then he said he wanted to secede because of the stimulus package, and now he's grabbing that money with both hands to essentially fix up his house,
You're back to that same old theme, bash the Republicans. The Republicans are always wrong. Let's bring in Mike Slater into this. He's radio talk show host. Perhaps he has a different opinion. Mike, what do you say?
Yeah, I missed part of that, but let's talk about these signs and specifically. This is clearly not an essential function of government, these signs, and any use of money that doesn't go specifically to an essential function of government as outlined by the Constitution is a waste of money, and this is a waste of money. I'd love to hear anyone say how this is essential.
Steve?
Well, nobody's saying that it's essential. I'm saying that this is not something Obama started off. You know, I think you missed this part, Mike, but as I explained to Stuart, in my 40 years, I don't know how old you are, in my 40 years, I've seen plenty of these signs in Colorado, Texas, New York. This is not something new. This is not something that Obama has done, without any precedent. So, you know, I think we have to really talk about what's going on here. And the real issue is that Republicans are afraid that people are going to see that the stimulus money is being spent on real infrastructure items in their community that they agree with, and then it won't be so easy to attack.
Mike?
All right, let's talk about one of the bigger principles with this stimulus package, accountability and federalism. And if we had local government like our founding fathers wanted, and we saw something stupid like these signs happen, we could go to our local officials in the grocery store and on church on Sunday morning, tap them on the shoulder and say, what the heck is going on with these stupid signs you're putting up?
It's interesting,
but
Mike,
once we have these power in government and we send our money over there,
because it's actually local government that are the ones who are petitioning to have these projects done. You know, they're the ones who are saying, the states and the local governments, they're saying, these are the projects that we want to do with the stimulus money. So you're actually getting your wish.
Maybe I can ask you, Steve, if you're happy with the $14 billion which has been spent from the stimulus package going towards Medicaid. That has not stimulated a single job, to my knowledge.
Well, I think a lot of jobs are getting stimulated by that in the medical industry. But I think what's more important is that we're finally heading towards real universal health care for the first time in American history. Another thing that I'm sure you Republicans are pretty afraid of.
Mike, you have the last word.
Oh, my gosh, I don't even know where to go with that. Let's go back to the signs. If you think this sign is such a great idea, then you have the freedom on this Memorial Day to go to it, write it on your checkbook, and write a check out to the federal government.
$300 these signs cost, Mike. $300 these signs cost.
Hey, that's all. It's every use of our money that isn't a proper function of government is equally immoral.
All right, Steve Laser and Mike Slater, both of you, thank you very much indeed for a good debate. We appreciate it.
Happy Memorial Day, Stuart.
Happy Memorial Day.
Who are politicians to tell you what to eat and drink at that barbecue today? Why a new tax hike plan could kill